All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome to the All Sports All Play Wrestling Hour. I am Ray Cruz. I have Chris, the pretty boy Robinson. How you doing today, Chris?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah. Today we're gonna talk about Scott Hall. I'm gonna do a tribute show to him for his passing yesterday. Some tragic news. All this came across because he had a hip operation and something went wrong. And really caused him to have like 3 massive heart attacks, in a row. And according to what Kevin Nash put out, that he wanted to wait to get the family in good spirits, good situation before they pulled the plug. And they finally pulled the plug, and I guess it took him a day to pass away. So I know you said that Scott Hall was your favorite wrestler. I remember Scott Hall when he came in as a diamond stud. Dallas Diamond Page, and yeah. So I go back a long ways for Scott Hall. He made his debut in 1984. I was exactly 14 years old at the time, on October 2nd. So let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit of roundup. We know him as Razor Ramon. We knew him as Scott Hall in the NWO. Very few people knew him as the Diamond Stud. Like I said, I did. He's also went by the name of Texas Scott.
Oh, no, that one.
How about the American Starship Coyote?
I've heard that one, but I never saw him perform as it.
Right. Some of the titles he held. He held the World Championship Wrestling in WCW under his real name. He held the WWF Intercontinental Championship.
Probably
Hogan,
the best ever.
Yeah, in that match, I know I found an old clip on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and look with Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels reminiscing that ladder match and everybody. And I remember what Scott Hall said at the end. He said that people asked him to autograph that picture of him landing down on the thing for the splash from Shawn Michaels, and he had to remind people that he actually won the match.
You know what? Like, that is the thing I think people really forget. We always talk about Shawn being like the innovator of the ladder match and all that, but Razor won that match.
Yeah. So that was a little bit. I go back and I look at some of the tributes and stuff like that they put out, and you gotta give Kevin Owens credit. He was the very first one to put a nice tribute out. Everybody started following suit after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, the NWO was started with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan. They all Extreme. He was in ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA World Tag Team Champions once with Kevin Nash and Eric Young. So,
oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff, and then he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as a single competitor in 2014, and again as a member of the NWO in 2020. So I'm glad they did get him into the Hall of Fame before he, passed away. Most people, like I said, if you look at the Hall of Fames that go around, like Pete Rose probably won't get inducted in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame until after he dies or something.
If he gets in, they probably will never.
Yeah, but he is in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is about Scott Hall. So what's some of your fond moments of Scott Hall?
Of course, the ladder match with Shawn at WrestleMania 10. And then, they had another good one at SummerSlam 95. People forget about that one. Razor lost it, but it was still a good one. His match against Brett at the 93 Rumble, that's one of my favorite matches of all time. Just because, it was so well worked. I mean, I don't think we realized because he was always standing next to Kevin Nash, but Scott Hall was 6'7". I mean, he's a pretty big guy still. So that match had great storytelling of a big man versus a little man. Of course, him jumping a guardrail in WCW. You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. Like iconic moment. Just winning World War III. You remember the 60-man 3-ring battle royal WCW used to do?
Yeah.
Him winning that was really good. One of my favorite Intercontinental champions of all time. Had a very underrated entrance, like the fireworks in the background going off, while he's doing his little thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just I'm trying to think like more of his matches that I just loved.
I can remember Razor. I can remember him as a Diamond Stud. Antonio Romero. If y'all have any, like y'all said, if you're watching this show, if you have any memories you want to share, we will bring it out and we'll put it up on the screen. Let everybody see what your memories are on the show, so you can interact with this too. I remember him as the Diamond Stud, in WCW, and at first he started off in another organization with the Diamond Stud. Then he brought the Diamond Stud with Dallas Diamond Page into WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he left there, he became Razor Ramon in the WWF, and then came back as Scott Hall and stuff like that. But, and Diamond Stud it was funny because when DDP first came out at WCW, we had no telling where Scott Hall was at. I mean, DDP came out and he said he kept promoting him, making this big anticipation of him coming. And when he did finally show up, I think that gimmick played pretty good for the first few months, and then it just played out. And they had to revamp Diamond Dallas Page, and they revamped him once he left to go to WWF and stuff as Razor Ramon. So I mean, I think out of all his character, I think Razor Ramon was the perfect character for him.
Easily, man. And like, I guess growing up, I never saw Scarface until I got older. So I see Razor Ramon, and then later on I see Scarface. And I'm like, this guy's trying to be like Razor. What the heck? Not realizing, he got the idea from Scarface. I was kind of like Vince. Like, I didn't know what Scarface was. But you could not tell me that dude was not Cuban. Like, even in WCW, I still would argue, nah, he's a real Cuban. But I mean, and he was just so entertaining to watch. And he was one of the first wrestlers I saw that like really made me like wrestling, just because he had such a move set, like a good move set, that fall away slam.
Right.
The way he would punch, he'd do his little twirl and then punch, the back suplex, the taunt before the Razor's Edge. And then Razor's Edge is one of the best finishing moves ever. And little known fact, no one ever kicked out of it.
Yeah, true. And he was trained by Hiroyo Matsuda. That's who trained him. I can't believe he's that old. I mean, he was born in October 20, 1958.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it makes sense because, my mom was born in 60, so a couple of years older than her. But just go back and like looking at, growing up watching him, it's like you wouldn't think that he was that old, but
yeah, he's of an age. And he was born in St. Mary's County, Maryland. He's a Maryland boy, but he was built out of Miami.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, built him out of Miami.
It goes along with being a Cuban, man. And the toothpicks.
His build height was 6'7", 287 pounds. He was built out of Miami, Florida. His debut, like I said, was October 2nd, 1984.
So, I found out that his debut match, that was Carmella's dad, the jobber that he beat. That's Carmella's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a shame that he had all these troubles and stuff like that, getting, but DDP got him back in got him back in shape with that DDP yoga with Jake the Snake Roberts. So I mean, he did get back in some kind of streets, and and it's just sad that he passed like how he passed away. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes. But I mean, like, of course, no death is ever good, but like, at least this one wasn't, because we all know he had well documented demons.
yeah,
So in a way, it's like, it wasn't from that. So I think that's kind of if there's anything that you can say is a positive on it, it could be that, we knew he overcame his demons and was doing better.
yeah. Um, let's see here. Let me see some here. I'm trying to see if I can find Kevin Nash's statement that he wrote on Twitter.
Like before it happened, or
No, this is Kevin Nash says Scott Hall's family will discontinue life support.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I think that's when everybody started saying RIP, because we just knew that, at that time, like, there was really nothing else that it could be.
right. Let me see something here. We're gonna try to read some of these Scott Hall stuff that Russell's praying tribute to Scott Hall. Let's see if we can get some of this stuff that are not videos.
One moment I think we forgot about was one of his biggest losses was to 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah,
that was a moment that showed you anything can happen in pro wrestling. And
right. Let's see here.
I think that's one thing about him. Like, so many things that he did was just that, like, you just wouldn't see things coming. Like, Razor Ramon's gonna lose to this 116-pound guy, and then
right.
of course the NWO formation.
This is right here from WWE executive. Triple H said he gutted to have lost a brother. While Shane McMahon, son of Vince McMahon, had singular talent, in my view, perhaps the greatest to ever performed in the square circle. Steen called Hall's death a huge loss, writing that he has definitely made us all better. Ric Flair said, "We all respect you so much," and Matt Hardy noted, "Was always great to have my brother and I." And then Chris Jericho says, also remember Hall. It says, "Seriously, Razor is sharp, hilarious, and by far the best pro wrestler I have ever seen to never hold a world title."
Yep, I was gonna say that.
While Foley called him a towering figure among his whatever that is contemporaries, a legend inside and outside the ring. WWE aired a tribute to Hall during Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, though. That he's probably the best to never hold a world title. But you could have seen being it. Like, Razor Ramon could have, or Scott Hall could have at WCW.
Yeah. Let me see here. Chris Jericho has had one of the good quotes from him. I'm trying to see if I can bring it back. Oh, here it is. I don't know if you remember this line that he used to say, but bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had a picture of her and the baby and Scott Hall in the back, towering over top of her. I can't show the picture, but
Yeah.
we could read stuff and stuff. Let's see here. Some of the fans said, "So it's officially true as I heard he's still alive." No, he's gone. He was in life support. His family decided it was time. And he saw some of the people, WWE. Imagine being the fan who threw this drink and realizing that you just made Scott Hall look even cooler. Remember the drink?
Yeah.
When NWO was in the ring with Bischoff and all them, and then they got through a drink and he just walked out and did his little hair, down, made him look cool. Yeah. And then Sean Waltman, here you go. This is the 1-2-3 kid. He was the smartest of us all, maybe all of us combined, and that was a car full of smart MFers.
And that's the thing, man. Like, you know, in the clique, you heard so much politicking. You know, Sean never wanted to lose. In WCW, Nash wanted to dominate everything, and we all know who Triple H is. But you never heard anything about Scott Hall. Like, his problem was he would put people over. There was a story that came out, you know, they scripted for him to lose to Jericho, and he was like, it would have a bigger impact if Jericho won. So he called the match in the ring and said, you know, made Jericho win. And then he took the punishment for it. Like,
and then The Rock came out before my match here with Scott. I made sure to tell him how much his in-ring work influenced me. He knew it as I was a student of the game, but had no idea he was one of the ones I studied. So The Rock actually studied Razor Ramon stuff. So I mean, that's another tribute right there.
Yeah, I feel like a bunch of wrestlers had to.
Huh?
I feel like a bunch of wrestlers had to study Razor. You can just see it now. Like even Damian Priest, you know, he uses that Razor's Edge.
Yeah. Sheldon J. Benjamin came out. Hey, yo, whoever one of my all-time favorites. Rest in peace, bad guy. And then Kevin Owens watching the segment recap. Why are they showing this? It's just happened. Kevin Owens sitting in the ring watching the tribute and stuff. And then some people posting, you know, his favorite, take the toothpick and throw it at you.
Yeah.
Throw it at the camera. I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories that, you know, Scott Hall. It was back when he was the Diamond Stud. He was in WCW. He did a house show in Raleigh, North Carolina. First, before the toothpick thing, he always toss out chewing gum.
So what now?
And when he was the Diamond Stud, he had chewing, instead of the toothpick, he had chewing gum before.
Mm-hmm.
And he, you know, I always take the chewing gum and throw it like he did it to his toothpick. He threw the chewing gum and hit a little girl in the head. And the chewing gum stuck to the girl's hair. But the girl didn't realize that she had the gum in her hair, so she was, you know, scratching it. She felt something, she was scratching it. She was sitting in front of me. And it was so funny that my mom looked at it and said, hey, you got a chewing gum here. And he's like, he looked, and Scott Hall actually looked at her, and his eyes got this big. And they said, well, we're going to have to stop for a moment. Scott Hall went to the little girl, tried to help her get the chewing gum out of the hair. And then after the thing said, hey, when the show's over, you come to the back of the arena, and we're going to take you back and let you visit all the wrestlers that are still left. That was pretty cool. I was a touching moment. He broke character, though. He supposed to been a bad guy, but he broke character right in the middle of the thing because his little girl was like, got her chewing gum. That's why he went with the toothpick.
Huh, didn't know that. That makes sense, though.
Yeah, that's why he went with the toothpick instead of the chewing gum. So there's a little tidbit there about him.
But
there's a lot of stuff that he done. You know, nobody would. WWE wanted a segment with kids. Nobody wanted to do it, so he stepped up and did it. So
yeah, like that's the thing, man. He's very selfless.
Yeah,
and that's probably why he was never a world champion. He knew he didn't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else he said?
Even in the NWO, like I don't think he cared about was getting paid, which you know I get that, but there was never any. You can never hear any story of him burying anybody. He put anybody over. Just a hell of a person.
Yeah, he had an interview maybe about between 3 or 4 months ago, and he asked him about that day. One guy asked him, says, why you never became world champion? And he made a comment. He says, Vince McMahon thought I was too nice to be a world champion.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he said that he was supposed to get the belt put on him, but when he broke kayfabe, broke character, because a little kid out in the ring wanted his autograph during the show. He broke it, and Vince said, "You too nice of a guy to do that." So he's like, "Well, I'd rather be a nice guy than being a world champion if you're gonna have to be so mean." Yeah. But I mean, Scott Hall would do anything. Scott Hall would do anything for you. If he had money for you, he'll give it to you.
Yes. Yeah. There was like a story I just heard. He was training a group of kids or whatever, new wrestlers, and he took them out for a weekend, and like they didn't pay for anything. He would not let them because he's like, you're just getting started in the business. Save everything you can. It's like, dang. And
Yeah, I mean,
you hear so many bad things about people, but I don't think I've ever heard a single story on Scott Hall that somebody didn't like him or that he mistreated someone or anything.
I mean, everybody has their demons in the closet.
Well, yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
I mean,
So let me see here. Oh, here we go.
Even with all his demons, though, you still never heard like bad things about him. Like, yeah, he probably would no-show some events or something, but it was for some indie guy. He was going to get a hot dog and a handshake anyway, so I would screw that guy.
Right. Scott Hall is being remembered by the following wrestler. His death on Monday was at the age of 63 years old. And you could tell he was old, I mean, he didn't age very well.
So. No, I mean, like we said, his demons did definitely caught up with him.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Sting, heartbreaking, huge loss. He definitely made us all better. Helped me with that one of a kind. Scott Hall's insight, so many, too sweet memories. Scott Hall, you will be missed. Ted DiBiase came out and said, "My heart and prayers go out to the family of Scott Hall. He was a great wrestler, a likable guy, and will be missed. Some of you may remember I had the pleasure of wrestling my last single match in WWE against Razor Ramon." That's true. He did. So, I mean, he's well liked by everybody. I mean, look, you got Divas. You had pictures of Divas. I like the shirt that says the bad guy,
Yeah. He was the one who came up with the crow gimmick for Sting.
Yeah.
He was just a big movie buff, I guess. And
yeah. I'm just glad Sting didn't pull a gun and shoot himself.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
I mean, that's what happened. I mean, whoever loaded that gun forgot to put blanks in and put a real bullet in them.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Scott
I never
Hall
even watched The Crow because of that. Like, that just always kind of freaked me out.
Yeah. Scott Hall, I love you, brother. I named after this man, Hall. My style and the change. Ayo. Everything is this man. I didn't want to be Jordan. I wanted to be Scott. So thankfully he became a friend and knew how much I loved him. I'm truly heartbroken right now. That's the West Sid Gun, whatever that is.
Oh, okay, I know.
And then Titus O'Neil came out, one of the most uplifting men I have ever had the pleasure to get to know over the past few years. Rest easy. All loves and prayers to the family of my WWE family and the WWE universe, who all respect Scott Hall, the ultimate bad guy that we loved because he was a good man. He was a bad guy, but a good man. He's the only one who can make that work, though.
That is true.
Yeah, he's the only one who can make that work. The Iron Sheik came out and said, "Scott Hall, Bubba, I love you forever. I miss you forever." And Iron Sheik's still living. Matt Cardona came out, rest in peace, Scott Hall, pictures of all that. And then Matt Hardy saddened to hear about Scott Hall passing. The bad guy was always great to my brother and I. My thoughts go out to his family and loved ones. And then you got William Regal came out in 1989. I spent 5 weeks in Germany with Scott Hall. Woo, 5 weeks with Scott Hall in Germany. Ooh, that's got to be something right there.
And
I can see them now.
Has his demons too.
Yeah. We got on in 91. I was on a tryout for one day for WCW in the UK, and although he would never admit it, got me kept on the 5-day tour. My deepest condolence to Scott Hall and family. Well, pal, yeah, I remember that he was only supposed to have been there for one day, and Scott Hall said, "No, you need to keep him for 5 days."
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of remember that story there in '91. I wonder if it was in October, in Germany, Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Hall with beer.
Oh
That'd be kind
man,
of
Regal too.
yeah.
I could just imagine the stories. Well,
So
was Regal alcohol too, or was it just drugs?
I think his was more drugs.
Okay.
And then Natty came out. Nat by Nature came out, which is Natty. So many prayers for Scott Hall and his family right now. The wrestling community is very strong, family near or far. We have reached each other's. We have each other's backs. Times like this are never easy, but I do know are so many incredible people waiting for you on the other side. So now let's take a look here. You got Dusty Rhodes. Now you got Scott Hall. God's got a good wrestling matches up there that he can watch.
Man, there's so many.
Yeah. If you ever want to have your future matches, you can have them now.
Man, you got Eddie and Razor.
Yeah.
I feel like they fought in WCW. I can't remember, but I feel like I've seen that match for some reason. I'm pretty sure they did, but
they might have put each other over or something.
Yeah,
because Eddie puts a lot of people over at the beginning of his career before he became that good, with his stuff and like that. But I mean, I remember Eddie Guerrero used to come in as a Punk wrestler, and then they give him a few upset wins here and there. But but Scott Hall, I think Scott Hall is just tremendous. I mean, and the guy not to have a world championship around his waist, we really didn't need it, but you knew who he was.
Yeah, like I mean, you can say the same thing about really him and Piper were like two wrestlers who probably should have won world titles, but never needed to.
Nah, Piper got over because of his mouth, and Razor got over because the way his mannerism was.
Yeah, just so damn charismatic.
Yeah, his little cheesemo. Let's see here.
Yeah, like that was the first time I ever heard that word before. It was about him.
Hulk Hogan said goodbye to Scott Hall with an emotional speech on Monday night, saying to the crowd of people, "I love him so much, I can't even explain it to you." The Hulkster delivered a tribute message at his restaurant in Florida just hours after the wrestling legend death, explaining in 3-minute chat exactly how much Scott Hall meant to him. Hulk Hogan told a group of fans gathered at his place that Hall, who co-founded the NWO with him and wrestled with him as Razor Ramon for years, helped change his career. He was just at a low point. So I mean, that's what we've been talking about there. So he went on and said he took care of me when I was down and out. Hulk said everybody thought Hulkamania was dead. Scott Hall resurrected me. He put me back on the map. Hulk also asked his audience to pray for Hall. And then in a nod to the wrestling legend, the bad guy persona, he asked everyone to party their face off. Yeah, there you go. Party your face off.
That's Scott Hall right there, man.
Yeah, party your face off. That's what he wanted. He lived life. He lived his life to the fullest. So
he did. Is his son still training or wrestling? Is his son still wrestling?
I don't know. Let me see here. Cody Taylor Hall is American professional wrestling. He is best known for working for New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he was a member of the Bullet Club stable. Hall is a second-generation wrestler as the son of late Scott Hall. That's all they say about him. Let me see if I can pull his thing up here. He was built from Taylor, Florida, some I don't know that word. He was trained by Scott Hall, Larry Sabisco, and DDP. He debuted.
You got to be good with that.
He debuted July 14th, 2012. He was in United States Air Force. He was in the Air Force.
What were you in?
I was in the Navy.
Okay.
He was in the 460 Security Force Squadron. So he was in the military too. He was born May 31st, 1991. The day I graduated in 1991 when he was born.
Damn, I'm older than him.
He's age 30. Yeah. Let's see here. 2017, 2019, 2020. His last stint that he had on here was on December 4th, 2020. Major League Wrestling announced that Scott Hall has been signed to the company. However, the next day he was released from his contract. So he last wrestled in 2000 from 2019 to 2020 in DDT Pro Wrestling. So his son, I don't know if it has nothing else about it being still a professional wrestler.
Now, I know he was never there, but do you think AEW will do a tribute?
I don't know. I don't know AEW.
I mean, honestly, at least I know. I'm pretty sure they acknowledge it at least, but
Here.
I guess it's kind of hard to because the only thing they could have is like TNA footage. Because WWE owns
Well,
everything else everywhere else he's been.
They said WWE, AEW paid tribute to Scott Hall.
AEW?
Eric Bischoff says CM Punk AEW debut can't be compared. They said that's what they said. I don't know. I don't know how AEW did it because AEW don't come on until tomorrow. So let's say they're just gonna piggyback what WWE did. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can see them doing one though, because there's so many wrestlers there who definitely know him. I don't know if you remember the feud he had with Goldust.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was different.
Oh, anything with Reynolds with Dusty Rose's older kid, yeah. That dude is he's off the chain.
Yeah, he worked his gimmick he lived his I don't know if he lived it, but that gimmick was something different. And that was honestly one of the first real wrestling feuds I remember seeing was Razor and Goldust.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta remember, Dusty Rose came out in polka dot.
Yeah.
The son came out as Goldust. Then you had Stardust as Cody. Then you had Dusty Rose American Dream with polka dot. But I think the one of the thing was when Scott Hall showed up on WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Bischoff, we knew all along that Bischoff was behind this whole mess. But he played it all pretty good. You didn't?
Just what I think about though. I was like 12.
Oh. Yeah.
No, I was like 96. I was 9. Yeah, no.
I was 24.
Yeah, so hell, I really thought that Kevin Nash really threw Rey Mysterio into that trailer. I was 9.
Did you believe that Vince McMahon blew up in that limousine?
No, I was an adult then.
They taped that. They taped that scene. That was a taped scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that bus when the bus got destroyed by Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was a.
Shout out to Antoine.
Chris, quit lying. You were 30 back in 19. I was 24. I was born in 1972. I seen Elvis. I seen Elvis in person. I seen Michael Jackson in person. I seen Prince in person, and Bruce Springsteen in person.
Man, I would love to see Prince in concert. That's like one concert I regret I'll never get to see.
Oh, dude, that Prince concert is off the chain. Especially when he sung Purple Rain. Yeah, you talking about somebody who put on a show? Prince puts on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, like, you know what? That was a death that shook me too, was Prince. Like, and then I can't remember if it was the day before or right after, because China died right around the same time Prince did.
Yeah. And that's man, God just got a good show going on up there right
Oh
now.
man.
You know, kind of jealous right now.
I mean, well, I don't want to see it, but I mean, I don't know if you like my friend Antoine. He has a picture of one of our good friends who just passed away. So I
Mhm.
know he's up there enjoying it. He was a Razor fan, and I know he's happy that Vader's going into the Hall of Fame too. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that Vader, ain't around.
yeah, because like he wanted to go in because he started campaigning when he found out he had cancer. Was it cancer
Yeah.
that got him? Whenever I know whatever it was, I know he was real sick, but they never did it, and now they're gonna do it.
I don't know. But he died of congestive heart failure.
Uh,
He died. He also died at age 63.
you know what's really sad though? In a way, that's kind of a long life for some of these wrestlers from back in the day.
Yeah. Hey, when my mom passed away in February of last year,
Mm-hmm. Sorry to hear that.
I found out that my mom, I forgot my grandmother, her mom died 29 years ago at the same age of 71.
Mm.
So my mom lived to be 29 years after her mom passed away. But the most interesting thing is they both died on her sister's birthday.
Like the same day?
Not the same day. 29 years ago on February 1st,
Yeah.
her older sister, his birthday is February 1st. 29 years ago on February 1st, their mother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 29 years of last year, my mom passed away on February 1st on her sister's birthday. So when her sister celebrates her birthday, she's also celebrating the anniversary of her sister and her mom's. That's kind of bad. That's kind of kind of orbit. You got to wish her a happy
Yeah.
birthday, and then you got to go and stuff like that too. So I mean, that's kind of morbid. Man.
Yeah, no, like when my grandma passed, it was the day before my mom's 50th birthday. We were gonna do a party thing, but that kind of superseded that idea.
Yeah. Damon Hernandez says Scott Hall's gone. Big E's career might be over too. WTF?
Yeah, that's sad.
I
On
don't know
Big
if his
E.
I don't know if his career could be over. It all depends on if they have to fuse his neck. If he had to fuse his neck, then it could be over.
Yeah,
But
that's
Big E's in big spirit about it. Put out a
that
big
is
thing. So
that is very true. He's been very positive, still joking.
all the wrestlers. All the wrestlers who died.
Hmm.
I'm looking up a list. All the wrestlers passed away.
Oh man, unfortunately, there's so many.
Well, yeah, I can go all the way back to the 80s and the 2000s, 2010s. Let's see here. Let's see with 2020 wrestlers. And yeah, Blackjack, Laganza, they had at 86. Bob Armstrong dead at 80. Beautiful Bobby Eaton died at age 62. Brody Lee at 41.
Bobby Eaton was only 60. So I didn't realize him and Razor were that close in age.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of
62.
crazy because I didn't really see Bobby Eaton in his prime. Like I watched, some of his matches just because I'm a Fournette fan, so I went back and watched.
Yeah. Brody Lee at age 41. Butch Reed dead at 66. Corporal Keitner dead at age 64. Daphne died at 46. And Danny Hodge dead at 88. That's all. Yeah, 46. I see it. Funny how all these legends are going, but Vince McMahon is still here. Vince probably on his way out.
Vince is gonna outlive us all.
No.
I don't think Vince can die.
Let's see about 2010.
We saw Vince blow up in a limo and he survived it. He's not gonna die. A stage fell on Vince and he survived it.
All right. All these people died in 2010. Al Green died at 57. Angelo Puffo died at 84. Alicia Osorio.
Ashley. She was a Diva Search winner.
Yeah. She died at 39. Axel Rotten died at 44. Balls Mahone dead at 44. Big Bully Busick died at 63. Big Daddy V dead at 43. That's Visser. Blackjack Mulligan died at 73. That's 2010. Let's go to 2000. Wow. Andrew Tess Martin dead at 33. Yeah. Anthony Durant died at 36. Arnold Chocoland dead at 82. Bad News Brown died at 63. There's a lot of wrestlers dying at 63. Bam Bam Bigelow dead at 45. Bertha Faye died at age 40. Big Boss Man dead at 41.
I thought he was that young.
Yeah, Big Dick Dooley dead at age 34. Let's go to 19. Let's go to 19. Ooh, this is the year where Andre the Giant died at age 46.
What year was he die?
This is in the 90s.
Because I know that's when he went to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. He was the first inductee by himself.
Art Barr.
Just a question on the Hall of Fame thing. Do you think the Undertaker should have went in by himself this year?
Who?
The Undertaker. For a while they were saying that like he could have his own induction. Do you think he should have?
Yeah, it was up to the Undertaker if he wanted it or not. And I think the Undertaker went on and said, no, I want to just like you normally format it. Mm-hmm. The question is, will he be there?
Oh, yeah, he'll definitely be there.
The only time he showed up at the Hall of Fame was Paul Bearer.
I don't think the Undertaker will be there. I think this has to be Mark. Mark has to be there. It can't be the Undertaker.
It can be the Undertaker. It can't be the undead Undertaker. It's got to be the badass Undertaker.
Yeah.
You can't have him come out there with his dead man sitting there about to cry. So, American Badass, you can probably get away with it.
I mean,
if he comes out there as the Undertaker.
No, he can't be the Undertaker. He's going to come out. It's going to be weird seeing him in a suit. Like
you think he's coming out in a suit? You think he's going to come out in a suit?
Yeah, he has to.
He don't have to. He's the Undertaker.
Nah, he's going to wear a suit.
It'd be very interesting to see him in a suit. You never seen him.
I've never watched the Hall of Fame, but I think I will this year. I actually thought about going, but I don't think I'll make that trip.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Peacock. I think. Art, continue on. Art Barr dead at age 28. Big John Studd died at age 47. Bobo Brazil dead at 73. Brian Hillebrand dead at 37. Brian Pillman dead at 35. And then you had Buddy Rogers dead at 71 and Bud Sawyer dead at age 32. That's your 1990. And these are the 1980s and early. Remember this one? I don't know if you remember him or not. Andre Adonis.
I've heard that name, but I don't like if I saw him, I wouldn't know who it is. I just heard the name.
He died at 33. Andy Kaufman dead at 35.
He's listed as a wrestler.
Yeah. He wrestled Jerry the King Lawler.
Okay. Bad Bunny wrestled at WrestleMania, but we're not gonna call him a wrestler.
But Andy Kaufman did more than just one match though.
Yeah.
He did a whole entire show.
So did David Arquette.
Yeah. David Arquette was a world champion though.
Let's not talk about that. That's some shit. My bad. David Arquette was a world champion, but Scott Hall never was.
Yeah. How about you remember this one? Bruiser Brody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, died at age 42. Then you had David Von Erich dead at 25. Eddie Graham died at 55. And then we keep on going. Gino Hernandez dead at 28. Haystack Calhoun dead at 55. Mike Von Erich died at 23. And yeah, Paul Bushi dead at 76. Peter Maivia dead at age 45.
How old?
Great. He was 45.
Really? That's the Rock's granddad, right?
Yeah, he was 45 years old when he passed away.
Damn, I thought he was older than that looking at those pictures.
He's 45.
Damn. I really thought he was like in his 80s when I saw pictures of him. Jesus.
Yeah, he was 45. Ray McGraw dead at 30. The Grand Wizard died at 57. Let's see here. They got one more list here. Russell, who died before the age of 50. Yeah, that's a lot. We already named all of them.
That's the sad part right there.
All these people dead before the age of 50. And then the only one that actually died in the ring during a pay-per-view was Owen Hart.
Yeah. That one was sad.
Yeah, I remember buying I bought the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And they really didn't tell you what was going on. All they did was they went quickly to a picture and they had these promos and they didn't say what was going on until they came back live.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I had to apologize to everybody because I was PO'd. So I was cussing at the television.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid $45 for that. That pay-per-view. And I was like, what the freak is going on?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's one thing, man. I should have cut the show. Like, I know the show must go on, but at one point you just gotta wrap that up.
I can tell you, Scott Hall, when he came to Dorton Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, wrestlers back then, the show, if you did your match, you can leave the house show and didn't have to stay for the whole entire show.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you a few things here. Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen always stood at the back of I can always remember seeing them in the very back by the garage open doors, and they always standing right there watching everybody's matches and stuff like that. And they never left early. Dusty Rhodes never left early. Magnum TA never left. Scott Hall never left early either. And Scott Hall came at the end of the show. Everybody just starting to leave. He come back out. He gets on the mic. He said, "Well, y'all going, man. This show ain't over yet. It might be over for the television. It ain't over yet. Y'all need to stick around. We got a couple more matches." And Vince McMahon come out and said, "No, we don't." He said, "Yeah, we do. We got a Prop 2 match. I'm about to put my tights on. I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to put on a show." I'm like, "What kind of show you going to put on?" He's like, dude, he challenged somebody. He said, "Anybody in the audience want to come in here and wrestle? I won't hurt you. I'll just make it look like I'm really hurting you." And I mean, this guy was funny. And Vince is like, no, you can't do that. He's like, shh, I got it. If he gets hurt, I'll pay for the medical bill. You ain't got to worry about it. They ain't going to sue you. I'll pay for it. This guy was something else. He always joking around. He always come at, if you ever watch him in a live event, you always want to stick around because he'll come back out and just say a few words and then you send you on your way. Yeah. That's just the way he is. Yeah, it's just a sad time though. You know, I'm getting to a point in my life where I see all these wrestlers and all these people I rooted for as a kid starting to pass away. That means it's a sign that I'm getting old. Because now we're getting to people that we really, really know are starting to pass away. You know, I grew up with Burt Reynolds, he's long gone. I grew up with Scott Hall, and now he's gone. I grew up with the Von Erichs. They're only one that's really living is Kevin. Yeah.
But at least it's one of those things now that's like we're not seeing it where it's so many young wrestlers dying. At least they're getting to finally, get to the older
getting up in age. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
That's
For
true.
a while there, like we're talking about Test.
Yeah, but Demon's got him.
Yeah,
Brian Pillman, Demon's got him too.
Yeah.
Macho Man. He died. He died driving.
He got to be he's in his 50s, right?
Macho Man.
Yeah.
That dude, man. That dude died while he was driving.
Yeah.
Macho Man was 58. He's 58 years old. He was born in 1952. Died in 2011. But he's 58. And all these guys right here. But I mean, all the stuff that Lex Luger has done, and he's still living, but he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Did I see something recently like that he can walk or he's trying to maybe?
Let me look up Lex Luger here. His name is Lawrence Will Poffo. Poffo. He was born June 2nd, 1958, better known as the Ring Lex Luger, All-American wrestler. Lex Luger is still paralyzed. He suffered from a spinal stroke in 2007 that left him paralyzed. There was damage to his C5, C6 vertebrae from years of pro wrestling and football. Despite prediction that he would remain paralyzed, Lex Luger is mobile today. He has the use of his limbs and can walk short distance. So if he has to go long distance, he has to be in a wheelchair.
Well,
he can walk short distance, not long distance.
That's an improvement.
Yeah. It's just bad with what happened to him. I mean, and you got Sting still wrestling at
62? Something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. And he's doing stuff better than some young people.
Yeah, he's 62 years old, born March 20, 1959. And he's jumping off on the skyway onto tables and everything else.
It's crazy. Like, you don't have to do this thing, but I'm not knocking it, man. It's great. I was a huge Sting fan.
Yeah. He's not. Somebody asked him if Sting a vegetarian. He's not a regular vegetarian. He's strictly metabolic diet. He has a personal chef that makes him mock tuna wraps and crunchy soup. Sting must dissipate pleasure of being turned into a pretzel by his yogurt instructor an hour before showtime.
It's showtime.
I mean, yeah. Crazy. But yeah, so you have any other memories of Scott Hall?
Oh man. I really have forgot that he was champion in TNA. I mean, it's kind of hard seeing him in that run because by that time, the demons had really caught up to him. He wasn't the bad guy that I knew and got me hooked into wrestling, but it was still, always good to see him. But just man, like I said, just the entrance alone was always what got me going. The toothpick, the gold chains, the vest, like good theme music, everything about like him just walking to the ring, the swagger he had. I think Scott Hall was the first person who said swag. He was just so damn charismatic. That's what got him over. And then he get in the ring and deliver. He wasn't going to give you like 5-star matches and everything, but he was not going to give you a bad match. You were going to enjoy it. Like I said, I haven't heard any bad things about people who worked with him in the ring or outside the ring. I'm glad to say that he was one of my favorites. I don't know if you were a video game player or not, but like on the old Super Nintendo, was it WWF Raw was the game? Used to always play with Razor on it. Just do that Razor's Edge, man. And even on the game, nobody's kicking out of it. Like you said, though, I'm happy he did get his 2 inductions to the Hall of Fame. All well deserved. And yeah, I agree with Antoine, but at that point in time, did we really want to see Sting versus Taker?
I did.
You did?
But you gotta understand. You gotta understand why I wanted to see it, because them two used to be tag team partners.
But you know what? Even when like that was a prime thing, that match never really excited me.
Oh, it could have excited me really good on that one.
I mean, the Undertaker's.
Yeah, I would like to see it if they were both still in their prime.
I guess because.
Yeah, I would have loved it.
Go ahead.
I would love to see it when Sting was the Surfer Sting.
And I guess the thing on it would be to me, and maybe this is just like me looking now, I realistically couldn't see Undertaker tapping out to a Scorpion Deathlock or being pinned from a reverse DDT. So I guess that's what it was. Like I just never could buy into Sting beating the Undertaker. And I'm a bigger Sting fan than I am of Undertaker.
Oh, I could see Sting. I could see the Undertaker tapping out Sting.
Undertaker didn't tap. He only tapped. Did he ever tap?
No. It's always first for everything. I mean, he lost his first WrestleMania totally announced.
I was there for it. It was, matter of fact, Antoine, we got the comments. Me and him were sitting next to each other when it happened. And nobody believed it. That's what happened. Everybody thought it was just like a mistake.
But the question is,
75,000 people were quiet.
But the question is, was it supposed to be the Undertaker losing, or did Brock Lesnar really derail them?
No, he was supposed to lose.
That's a big question. I mean, if you listen to, have you ever you see the Facebook post that going around with Paul Heyman talking about it? The way he talks about it, you couldn't tell if it was a shoot or not.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't understand. When I was sitting next to Antoine, he took it personal.
He's not the guy that had that big eyeballs going on, was it?
No.
That guy freaked me out. I was like watching, and they pan right to him. They're like, what the freak is this dude doing? And he was like, It's just funny how they went and panned right to him right after they happened. They found him and they panned right to him.
Man, it's so crazy, like how they can do that, like the Miz girl, or just
are they just there, or Are they a plant?
Nah, because it's like genuine reactions, and it's
Well,
like,
Vince McMahon is known to use regular people as plants.
but like Miz Girl she wasn't like ringside or anything. She was up in the nosebleeds.
Ain't gotta be ringside. He can be up there too. I'm gonna tell you something. When WCW went to a house show, Dusty Rhodes had plants in the nosebleed section. He had plants in the next section below the nosebleed, all the way down. Dusty Rhodes had 15 to 16 plants in a building.
Mm.
And you never know who they were because he never used wrestlers. And how did Dusty Rhodes get his plants? Oh, because before the show, you have to go get your tickets a day before the show, or same day of the show. Dusty stands out there and says, "Hey, you look like a good plant, man. You want to earn $1,500? You gonna be my plant? Don't tell nobody."
1,500
Yeah, they gave him $1,500
to just sit in the audience.
to sit in the audience to be a plant.
Man,
15 of them.
nice.
Yeah, I didn't realize what was going on until my dad said, "Yeah, there goes Dusty Rhodes' plants right there." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" My dad knew everything about wrestling, and my dad was a security guard for most of the good wrestlers like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, and stuff.
Mhm.
And Dusty Rhodes used to tell my dad, "Hey, go out there and find me 15 good guys for being a plant." My dad's like, I'm only here to make sure you're okay. I ain't going out there and no. You go out there and do it. Well, you got to come out there with me then. Okay. But my dad was funny, man. He'd go with the flow. He'd tell the wrestlers he told, what was it? He told Vince McMahon off his last gig was being a security detail for Vince McMahon.
Mhm.
And Vince McMahon told my dad to go get him a cup of coffee. My dad turned around and told him, "You're a billionaire. Get your butt. You can move your butt right there and get your own coffee." He said, "If you want me to get you coffee, it's going to cost you $23,000. That's how much I'm in debt." And Vince's like, "You're a hard bargain, man." My dad used to tell us all kinds of stories, man. He was an EMT, and Coach K did a lecture to all the EMTs there.
Mhm.
And my dad said Coach K was the biggest ass he ever met.
Really?
Yeah. He said he showed up. He was 15 minutes late. He showed up 15 minutes late. He gave the speech and then after the speech, he walked out.
Mm.
He didn't stick around there. My dad was trying to get an autograph from him to go with his Dean Smith autograph.
Mm.
He walked right out. He said he showed up late, did his speech, and walked right out.
Wow.
And you're in front of EMTs and stuff like that. So let me see here. I don't know if y'all have comments on this or not, but what are your thoughts on the Queen Shamila, aka Booker T's wife, going into the Hall of Fame? That's a good question. What'd she really do to deserve to go in the Hall of Fame?
She was a hell of a manager. I'm for it. I love the King Booker, Queen Charmel dynamic. I mean, granted, it only lasted it lasted a while, a good while, about a year or so. Um, she was entertaining. She got legit heat, which is hard to do. And that, I think even right now, if she came out with the all hell King Booker thing, we would still boo her just because she was good at what she was supposed to do. I have no problem with it. People are upset about it. I'm for it.
I don't know. I just like, I mean, some people are saying she's getting in because she's Booker's wife.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying if she never got in, I wouldn't be saying Charmel should be in the Hall of Fame. But since she's in, it doesn't hurt anything.
Did you like Edge's new theme music?
I didn't watch Raw. So I haven't heard it.
I don't know. It's all blue, and I don't know. It reminds me of the brew.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know. I think he's just out there trying to get the money. I guess.
I don't know. I really think that him and AJ are gonna steal WrestleMania though. If they get the, I don't know. Like that's the match I'm looking forward to. But AJ's WrestleMania matches outside of the graveyard thing with Undertaker have been really disappointing.
So now the question is Stone Cold gonna let Kevin Owens do the stunner on him?
Hell no. We all know that he's gonna try, and Austin's gonna push him off and then stun him, and that's how it's gonna end the show.
Put beer all over top of him?
Beer all on top of him.
Well, you are in Texas, so you know. So what are they gonna do with Seth Rollins now? I mean, he lost to Kevin Owens. So what are they gonna do to him now? How is he gonna be in WrestleMania?
I really don't know. I mean, the talks are, him and Cody, but
I haven't seen Cody, so I mean, it's too late to try to bring him on now. You're a month away. You're less than a month away.
They still got enough time.
So
Hey,
you think they can build? Hold on. You think they can build a show with them? WrestleMania is what? April 3rd.
Yeah.
You got Monday Night Raw. You got 1, 2, 3 Monday Night Raws and 3 SmackDown. So you got totally 6 shows to get them over.
Just have Seth say he's gonna do an open challenge, and that'll make the rumors fly that it's gonna be Cody, and then boom.
But the question is, has Cody Rhodes really signed with WWE? I mean, there's no record of him signing. And then this Veer guy's been trying to show up since last year.
Right, Veer's been coming, man.
Does he come out and I don't know? Is he gonna make Veer a good guy or a bad guy?
Veer's never coming.
he's gonna be holed up in at IKEA.
Unless he wins the do they still do the Battle Royal now on the 2-night events?
Yeah, the Andre Battle Royal.
Yeah, if they do that, then Veer will win.
If he shows up. They gotta have a match in IKEA. I mean, that's where he hangs out at. If you ever see his promos, it's always in freaking IKEA. Yeah. And they did a promo with him the other day. He was in IKEA. He said his store manager trying to kick him out. So I mean, is he really gonna show up? That's gonna be the question. What's up with this Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair? Now Bianca Belair has got the freaking throat injury. And you got Becky Lynch all in a hospital. We know it's a shoot, but you got Becky Lynch all in a hospital looking all kind of gross looking, really bummed out. And then all of a sudden she shows up. She's freaking fine.
I don't know, man. Okay, we get it. Bianca can pick up Dewdrop. Stop with the match now. It's really, this WrestleMania has some poor build. Like most of the matches have terrible build.
Yeah, this could be a good one. This is Undertaker's Hall of Fame. Have Seth Rollins be in the ring, and then Undertaker shows up and chokeslams him to end WrestleMania.
You know what? I would be okay with that just because Undertaker deserves to retire in front of people.
Why not have Seth versus Elias since there are reports of Vince not having anything for Elias? Why not have Seth versus Elias? Nah. That doesn't do anything for me.
Where is Elias?
I haven't even seen him in months.
It's been. I remember they did that promo thing where like Elias is dead, and
yeah.
Then after that, I guess he really died. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Vince was trying to recreate him and he couldn't figure out how to recreate him.
Yeah, I mean, because he can't do the guitar thing because Boogs does that and does it better.
You got Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Why don't you just you got the Priest, got the evil one, bring out the demon, have them two go out against each other.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna do some kind of demon versus demon type match.
Now, you could do one where Finn Balor comes out as Finn Balor, lights go out, and the demon shows up out of nowhere. That's a lot of stuff they had to put on them. Though.
I don't know, because that demon, that paint takes like hours to put on.
Actually, no, because what they did was they had Finn Balor in a match. Lights go out. He comes back as the demon. He could have a bodysuit too, you know. Or they could have that, the stuff that they put on the skins and stuff like that for movies. They could have had a cast made out like that and put it on him, look like his real body. Yeah, a lot of ways you can do it. But so, what do you think about this year's WrestleMania? You think this is going to be the all show of all shows? Or this is going to be the worst WrestleMania ever?
None of the above. I don't think it's going to be the worst, but I'm going to watch it because we're going to talk about it. And, it's WrestleMania. But hell, it's 2 hours away from me and I have no interest in going. Like,
yeah, that's what Freddie said. Freddie said he wanted to drive. I told him he wanted to drive for Uber and Lyft. I said, why don't you just do it, man? He said, well, the airport's 2 hours away. I said, dude, you just think about it. You got to pick somebody up in Marshall and take them to the airport. That's 2 hours, man. You know how much you make out in a 2 hour drive? I went from Jacksonville to Orlando, which is 2 hour drive. Mm-hmm. I made almost $225. And then one time I made $500 coming back.
Don't nobody want to ride with Freddie in a car for 2 hours? Could you imagine that? God, they just walk. At least I would.
I mean, yeah, Freddie said he don't like driving anyway. So I said, well, Freddie, you don't like working at Lowe's either.
That is true.
You ever go to Lowe's and see him in there?
You know what? After the first show that we did together,
yeah,
I went into Lowe's the very next day and I saw him, and I really didn't recognize him because I had never met him in person.
Uh-huh.
And he was like talking to me. I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then it dawned on me, oh.
So y'all in the same hometown, huh?
Yeah.
And your town's supposed to be small according to Freddie.
Oh, it is, man. It's super small. I'm pretty sure, I think Marshall may have 25,000 people, if that. I'm probably being very generous. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's cool. I mean, everybody knows everybody.
That's like my hometown.
And if you don't know somebody, somebody knows you. So
yeah, you remember your mom always tell you, saying, whatever you do in your town, I know about it.
Yes. That is exactly this one.
I'm still trying to figure out how my mom knew what I was doing, when I was doing, where I was doing it at. And waited for me to come home and tell my side of the story, but she already knew it. I still can't figure that out. My mom knew that I was out in Debney Drive. I was drinking. I was riding down the road, hollering, hoovering. And she knew I grabbed a girl's butt. I'm like, what the freak? She knew all that. I still can't figure that out. Let's see what Damon says here. Be in the car with Freddie, listening to him scream and moan about the Lakers. Hell no. Well, you got to bring up the Lakers first before you talk about it. Oh no. My guy, Chris, is doing the damn thing. I love you, bro.
Con man, that's my guy, man.
Yeah, Con man, we got to hit it up, man. So we can get that college breakdown going together.
So we can bring some of these.
Yeah, I told him, we get together and hit some. He said he can bring on some former college players and stuff like that. So hit
If
him
the
up with
con
that.
man said it, he can definitely do it. He has so many connections, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. He mentioned Otis Thorpe. I wouldn't mind talking to him.
From the Rockets?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy. Man, like if you just listen to the comment talk, his stuff is just it's like listening to you, man. Like, reminiscing over like the wrestling things, like you and your dad listening to the comments, talk about basketball of the past. Like, hell, YouTube should just do a show on reminiscing, man. I watched that.
Dude, I could tell you a lot of stuff that went on in my life. To make a very interesting television show. Yeah. I mean, just going overseas, taking a country boy, telling him to go overseas and don't know no lick of foreign language or nothing, trying to ask somebody the direction. Me and my buddy went around. You talk American? No. I said, you said no, very good. The guy looked at me like, oh, it was funny. We were walking down the middle of the street in Norway. Norway, you could drink out in the streets and stuff. So we went to the liquor store and got us some Jack and some not even Coke, just straight bottle of Jack. We drank a whole bottle of Jack together, walking down the middle of the street. And let's see what sharing this. Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
So, I mean, my buddy, man, they had these naked statues in the middle of the street. I mean, he's already drunk and lit. I took a picture of it. He's looking like he's messing around with one of the naked women. He's licking it and stuff. I took a picture of it. So his retirement ceremony, they wanted people to send pictures. I was like, dude. So I called his wife up and asked her. I said, you think it's all right if I send this picture right here? And she looked at it. She said, oh, man, that'd be hilarious. We ain't going to even tell them that picture's in there. The dude standing up, my buddy was standing up there doing the speech. That's when they run the slideshow in the back. Mm-hmm. And I showed that picture came up with him doing that to that statue. Everybody started busting out laughing. And he thought he told a funny joke. I said, no, dude, look behind you. I was like this pointing behind him. He finally turned around. He's like, and he couldn't cuss or nothing because we was inside of a church. And he was like, wow, dude, how y'all get that in there without? See, he looked at the whole slideshow before the night before. Well, I sent the picture that morning, knowing that he's already looked at the pictures. And told him to slide it in because I knew his forte. He likes to look everything over the night before. Then he won't go back and look at it again on the day of. So I told him to slide the picture in the day of, and he's looking through that. He's like, dude, I went there the day before. I said, you forgot, bro. I am your buddy, and I know what your intention is. I said, we went around with your little night before stuff. So, yeah, I passed a Whataburger tonight, man. We got Whataburgers here in Jacksonville.
Really?
Yeah. Matter of fact, they got one in Yulee, Florida, and they got about 5 or 6 in Jacksonville.
Oh man, Whataburger's so clutch.
And every time
sponsor us.
every time we pulled into Jackson, we pulled into Mayport, they had one off Atlantic Boulevard. We always made a run. Hey, we here at Whataburger because we couldn't get no Whataburgers anywhere else but Florida. And I was like, man, when they first brought it to Dad, I was like, dude, what is this? He said, this is Whataburger. I was like, never heard of it. He said, man, I'm gonna get you one and you can bring it back. Well, that burger was good. It'll shake and everything else.
Man, I want to talk to Jonathan about it, man, because he's an in and out person. Like, ew. I don't see how you can do in and out.
I did. In and out, and then North Carolina and Georgia and South Carolina's got what's it, cookout burgers. Mm-hmm. Oh, that burger's good too. At cookout burgers, you put coleslaw on the burger. Oh man, that's so good. And they don't cook theirs they cook theirs actually on a grill. An indoor grill.
Like
They
Burger
actually
King?
cook it on a grill. Huh?
Like Burger King?
Something like Burger King. But Burger King's is charbroil.
Yeah.
This one's actually charcoal.
Oh.
You know. So, and the flavor of that is pretty good too. So I mean, I like that. I like Whataburger too. I wish they bring back the peach milkshake.
They got that Dr. Pepper shake right now. I haven't tried it, but
I gotta go see if they got it here. Got that. So, well, you know, this has been a good show. Reminiscing. Scott Hall passing away. Keep his family in prayers during this tough times. I understand how they're going through. I lost my dad when I was 18. I lost my mom recently. So, I mean, I have no parents left. So, you know, now when you go to Mother's Day, Father's Day, you have to go to a graveyard and, you know, tell them there. So, I mean, you know, they're in a better place.
yeah.
Get all this stuff to, you know, when you're here on Earth and stuff like that. My mom was like really feeble. You know, I'm glad she really didn't have to sit here and suffer the way she, you know, what she was doing and stuff like that. But I still want my mom to be here, you know, too. So, you know, you miss that time. And my mom was my confidant, and I know Scott Hall was his kid's confidant, and his daughter, she just revealed I think like 2 weeks ago, she revealed a swimsuit shoot she was doing. She is a model, and she looks pretty good. And so, you know, you might want to look her up. You know, but I mean, Razor Ramon, Diamond Stud, Texas Scott. You know, I've never seen him wrestle as Texas Scott.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard the name, but I never saw it.
I don't know if he came out with a Texas star on his or the Texas logo on his butt or anything like that. You know, how some of them Texas stars do. But, you know, stuff. I'm Ray. This has been Chris, the pretty boy Robinson. Yes, I gave him the name. He stuck with it. I guess it's working. You know, it looked like a pretty boy anyway. Let's see what the comment said here. Yo, I'm from the Northeast. We do clam boils. Yeah, clam boils are good. I had a bunch of everybody was in Jacksonville. You know, I'm so sorry about the loss. It's hard. I've been there, but the spirits will always remain my friend. Yeah. My mom was one kind of a person. I mean, she'd take nothing from my dad. My dad get on her. She took the cast iron frying pan and hit her upside the head. And my dad never messed with her no more. So, but it's been a good show. You know, reminiscing, talking about Scott Hall, talking about different stuff, making it a little bit more interesting here. If you like the show, leave a comment on the Facebook page. We'll be here every Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and 7 Pacific. I had to get all the time zones, you know. But this has been Ray, Chris, the pretty boy Robinson. This has been All Sports, All Place Network. And we'll see you next Tuesday. See you, man. Have a good rest of your week and a good weekend, man, coming up.
Yes, sir. Great show.
Yep. Peace out.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Behind the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.